Hello, my name is Emil and I'm from Team Kick Racing. I've got Oscar Nilsson with me here today, the junior world champion and the owner of Madkwads.
This video is brought to you by Madkwads.
As I said, I've got Oscar here with me, and when he won the junior world championship, he flew a very special frame. Oscar, please tell me what's special about this frame.
Well, it all started last summer when I flew the Carbix Zero. But I wanted to evolve it, make something that's special to me, something that I've been a part of from the very beginning. So we started with the MadS project. And from the beginning we started with just normal 3K carbon fiber. But I broke it a lot in the first version. So what we then decided to do was experiment with better carbon and better designs, more extreme designs that utilize this new carbon. So we've been through 3 versions now, and we've arrived at the winning frame, the Junior World Championship winning frame, and then the very next evolution of it. That is even more extreme. It's even stiffer than the one that I won with.
I can see that it has vertical arms. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Last summer I flew the Carbix Zero, which is a box frame. And I love the feeling of it, so I still wanted to keep some of that. And a large part of it is the vertical arms.
I can also see that the arms go to different levels here. Why do you have this concept?
It's to help with the torsional forces on a motor. If you look at the edge of an arm, you take the motor and you try to twist it, it's that force.
Okay, so you get stiffness from every angles.
Yes. So if you try to twist it, grab 2 motors and twist them away from each other.
Yeah, it's really stiff. Holding this in my hands, I can hardly see any electronics. This has to be good, right?
It's both good and bad. It's very good for protection, but it's a little bit harder to maintain and build. But we've made a giant manual on exactly how to build it, and also a shorter version that's already on our Facebook page, just a short animation of how to build it.
Okay, so it's easier to build when you have that help.
Yes.
Okay, I can also see that you have top-mounted battery here. Is that a special thought about it?
Yes. I wanted to have a top mount or mid-mount battery. A top mount is usually higher up. This is more a mid-mount battery, which means that the center of gravity is 1 or 2 millimeters under the propellers, which is exactly where I wanted it.
The carbon fiber on this one doesn't really look what I'm used to see. What's different about this?
The outer layer is TeXtreme, but inside it's very different from a normal carbon fiber laminate. We've actually made custom laminate plates just for this frame. I reached out to the TeXtreme engineers to help me make it stronger, stiffer, and overall better. And what they helped me create was a custom laminate just for this.
How did you find people to do that?
Ooh, that was the hard part. Trying to find someone who can actually manufacture not just the plate, but then also make something out of it. We actually use 3 different companies just to get the frame here.
So this carbon fiber is not something you just buy?
No, I have given a recipe to the manufacturer who actually makes the plate. I said I want these fibers in this layup, and you have to raise the temperature in this way, and then they make the plate, send it to another company which drills 1,200 holes in each of these plates, and then that is shipped to another manufacturer which actually uses a waterjet to cut the carbon fiber into its final shape.
This sounds really expensive.
It is. It's the main drawback of the whole thing. It's the price. It's really expensive to manufacture.
So it doesn't break, or?
Well, I hope it doesn't break. I haven't broken anything since we upgraded the carbon. And another large part of why it doesn't break is this waterjet cutting that I talked about a minute ago. Because it gives us such tight tolerances that all of the tabs and slots, they fit like exactly. There's no play anywhere in it, which also improves the stiffness.
I want to talk a little bit more about this carbon fiber. You have some arms here. Tell me the difference.
Okay, so these here are actually from 3 different versions of a frame. This here is our first one. It was just normal carbon that we just bought from a supplier.
Which I can buy from everywhere.
Yeah, this is normal 3K carbon, which isn't really good, but it's very common because it's cheap, easy to work with, and easy to get a hold of.
So when I buy a frame, it's usually this kind of carbon fiber?
Yes, it's usually just this.
Okay.
And then we move on to our next version, which actually has TeXtreme in the outer layers, but it isn't fully optimized inside. And if you just try to bend that one,
yeah,
and then you try the second version,
that's definitely much more stiffer, and it's also looks different.
Yes, that's due to TeXtreme in the outer layer. TeXtreme it's similar to this weave here. You see all of these squares here? It's like that, but way bigger. Each one of those squares are 20 by 20 millimeters. And if you then try to bend the latest version, the one that we will actually go to production with.
Okay, this is the one then.
Yes,
okay.
that is the one. That's the one we're going with.
Okay, this is Wonder Boy. Yeah, feels nice. And it really looks nice too. I like the look of it. Okay, so this carbon fiber, it's stiffer. I can feel it's stiffer. But does it hold better?
Yes, it's also more durable. In our first prototype, the one that used these arms, they broke right here. That's where the motor plate connects with the arm. It broke there every single time, but I haven't broken any of those. None of them, nothing.
Okay, so you have almost reached perfection here.
Almost.
So besides from being stiffer and can take a hit better, is there something else that is better?
We've done everything we can to remove the lamination, which can happen from extended bending and crashing. You can feel this with a normal flat arm, the frame. After a few crashes you can start to bend the arms. They get a bit noodly. And this doesn't happen because it doesn't delaminate.
I want to go back to the design of this frame. The vertical arms. What makes it better in flight?
In practice, it makes it grippier in the turns. And theoretically, we don't actually know why, but that's something that I experienced with the box frame. And pretty much everyone who's tried a box frame says that, oh, it's so grippy in the turn, it just goes where you want it, it doesn't drift. And I tried to take that property from the box frame and turn it into something stiffer.
Okay, so this is a race frame, a pure race frame.
Yes, if you freestyle with it around trees, you will get stuck on the top of a tree, because the branches can get stuck here.
Yeah, I can see it. It's a hook.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have something I want to show you.
Okay, what's this?
This is the laminate that we've actually developed for the arms. And it's very strong along one axis, but weak along the other. So if you would try to flex it here and here.
Yeah. I will start here. It's flex. And it's much stiffer that way. How's that?
That is because we've made a different layup. It isn't symmetrical, which means that there's more fibers along the arm than across it. Because we don't need any strength across the arm, but along the arm we need a lot of it.
Okay, so if it's a square, do you use different carbon fiber for that?
Yes, that's sort of similar to our center plates, and I've got another plate for that.
But this one looks just the same as the other one.
But it's different. It looks the same because they have the same texture on the outer layer, which is Spread Tow by TeXtreme. But on the inside, they're completely different. The other one was asymmetrical, meaning that it's stronger in one direction than the other. This one's quasi-isotropical, which means that it's as strong in both directions.
Okay, so that's why you can do a lot of squares on this one.
Yes, because the squares are in our main body, which takes loads from 4 different places.
So one of the most common questions about a frame is the weight on it.
So most frame manufacturers display the weight in this configuration, which is with the camera mount and antenna mount, but no motor screws. So let's weigh it.
It's about 82 grams, right? And this is without the motor screws.
Yes, so now let's weigh it with the motor screws.
Okay, have another frame with all the screws. There we go, and then
2 antenna screws
antenna
to secure
screws.
the SMA.
Let's put it right there, and it's about 88 grams. Looking at this frame, I see more and more blue screws. Can you tell me more about the blue ones?
Yes, we didn't actually start out with the blue screws. We started out with these red ones.
The red ones, why don't you use these?
It was very hard to even find a manufacturer who could produce 7075 T6 aluminium screws, which are the strongest. And to actually ensure that we got what we ordered, we built this test rig. And what we found when we got the screws was that they were actually 7075 T6 aluminium, but they had a big design flaw. And what we compared them against was the blue screws from Carbix, because we know that they're good, so we bought them straight from Carbix instead.
From a Swedish dealer.
Yes, all Swedish.
So, all Swedish? You're telling me that it's all Swedish?
Almost.
Almost. So you're telling me that the design is special made, the carbon fiber is custom made, the screws are custom made, the battery straps are custom made.
Exactly.
And it doesn't break.
Precisely. And I haven't even broken anything from version 2, now that we're on version 3. Yes, that's version 2.
Okay, how can you prove that this one is better than that one if this one doesn't break?
I have just the thing.
This thing looks brutal. Tell me what it does.
It's our stiffness testing rig. We test different frames in 4 different tests to decide how stiff they are. And our frame isn't the stiffest in all of them, but it doesn't have one major weakness. You can find all of the test results on madkwads.com and also the drawing for the test rig if you want to test out yourself.
The 4 tests you say, how do you do that?
Well, 2 of the tests are done with the pulley in this configuration, and the first one is just deflection up and down, and the second one we remove this support here, and that makes it a torsional strength on 2 motors. Then we move it over here, and then we get a sort of yaw movement.
And this is how you can prove how this one is better than this one.
Exactly.
You get it on numbers.
Yes.
Excellent. Oscar, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. And to show my appreciation, you get a frame.
Oh, thank you.
Please fly it and try to break it. If you do break anything, I will warranty it. I will warranty it for everyone who buys a frame. Thank you for watching.